Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Jocelyn Lovely Tarot. So good to see you guys here today. Today's reading is going to be for my Sagittarius. If you guys resonate with the video, like, share, and subscribe. If you guys want a personal reading, hit me up at jocelynlovely84@gmail. Today I was feeling like reading from the Black Moon Astrology cards and then the Luna L Universe Tarot. For some reason, this Black Moon Astrology cards really get to the nitty gritty. And it just helps. You get a little bit of the astrology updates, your planetary updates, and then you get a little bit of like the energy you're feeling around and maybe like what you're doing to get out of it, right? All right, we're starting off with Libra. Balance. Look at this person. She's open. Gender doesn't matter. You are open to receiving love, whether that's from the universe. This reminds me, it's very angelic. Whether that's from the universe, whether that's from the people around you, whether that's from just life itself, whether it's from you. From you. This is you being open, understanding it in the 3D, that this is what you want more than anything, and you're attracted to it. And because you're attracted to it or you're thinking about it, it's become you. Right? It's the difference between believing that you want something like this, self-love, right? And actually knowing that you're worthy of it in your heart, so you open up automatically and everything around you reflects that. The belief that you truly are meant to love you in ways that maybe you've never been able to when you were a child, in ways that maybe you have, and then trauma comes in or life comes in and then you forget. You forget to tap into that type of love frequency, right? Because sometimes the lows are so low we can't reach these highs, right? We have to grieve. Once you grieve, it's like you can come right back here again in the middle. It doesn't have to be too high, it doesn't have to be too low, but it'll be right here, a steady frequency. The next card, I love how I explained that. That was really nice. Thank you, me. The next card is the North Node, Life's Purpose, but it's in reverse. There's nothing wrong with this. I actually want you to take a look at this right here, right? Look at the way this person's being open to receiving love in the 3D, right? Because you believe it. And then the minute you believe you're worthy of it, what happens is you descend, right? Your shadow sees you. It's in reverse, right? But look at this you're casting upon the shadows and you're paving light into your shadow. The shadow version of yourself. You're opening up and you're giving it love, or you're receiving love, and it's just like you're finally embracing shadow. This is what I'm talking about when we talk about the lows, right? When you're so low and you're in the darkness, you feel not loved, right? You feel the opposite of that. You feel sadness, you feel grief, you feel left out in the cold. But it's almost as if when you decide to tap into whatever these emotions are, your shadow feels heard. Your shadow feels embraced. And it's almost as if as above, so below, right? You take care of love in one area, it reflects in the other. As above, so below. And here you are just being open to your shadow and loving it and embracing it and telling it that it no longer has to stay behind. See, that's why the shadow tends to lash out a lot, because we don't love it. We shame it, we hide it, we try to run without it. We think, hey, we don't need you. Yeah, you're great, you're fun, but I don't need you, shadow, right? Like, I don't need people to see this version of myself anyways. But what you do is you end up making sure the shadow resents you. And then what happens is it lashes out. So you end up doing crazy shit that you never thought you would. And you're like, well, I can't believe I did that. This is not like me. No, it's a lie. That is like you. It's just your shadow hasn't been tamed, right? When your shadow is tamed, it's like you, right? But then when your shadow is being neglected and it lashes out to prove something to you that you can't leave it behind even if you tried, then that happens, right? And then you sit here like, well, that's normally not like me, typically not like me. Well, it isn't, but because you rejected it, it became resentful towards you. So what does it do? It acts out. One way or another, it's going to catch your attention. So it's better that you pay attention to them now, your dark aspects, than it is later. When they're like destroying everything around you, self-sabotaging you, doing things that you would feel very embarrassed about. The next card is the Ten of Cups. You see the murkiness on the outside, but then the gorgeous light on within. Again, it's like you understand the assignment here. You know not to leave your shadow behind this time, right? So what do? You bring that with you. You bring the pain. You bring the resentment. You bring the all of it, the good and the bad. You bring it with you because you understand that that's part of you. And that's going to ultimately lead you to the happiness that you've always wanted, but never knew how to achieve it, never knew that you were probably worthy of it, right? Because it's the shadow. The higher self knows you're worthy of it, right? But it's the shadow. It's the doubt. It's the fear. It's the things we hate about ourselves. It's that always gets left behind. That always has to feel like it's never enough. It's that. You can call it ego. You can call it whatever you want. It's those aspects that just, they're frowned upon, right? So here you are with the Three of Wands in reverse. Some of you guys don't think that good things are coming your way. There's a lot of doubt here. There's a lot of doubt that things are going to come your way. Maybe your shadow has felt for a long time that you've never praised it, that you never loved it enough, right? Because with Three of Wands can signify being recognized by the divine, by yourself, by others, for all the hard work you've done. And it's almost as if the shadow has done just as much hard work as you have, the higher self has, or other parts of you has, but it's never been praised. Not as much as it could be, if it has been, right? And so here you are understanding that. So here you are putting double the amount of work into your every aspect of you, which is why the Lovers comes next. The Lovers, it's you holding on to every part of you and understanding that it's necessary. It is vital for your own happiness, for your own peace of mind, for everything in your life to work out well. You're taking every part of you with you. And it's almost as if because you're doing that, you can come into these relationships a little more self-aware. Whereas than before, maybe when you were in relationships, you never brought your shadow with you, right? And so it was almost as if because you abandoned your shadow, rejected it, you ended up like maybe giving too much to everybody else and not enough for yourself. And that's why the shadow was resentful. It's like you chose everybody else and their shadow over your own, which is why the shadow had a problem with it. Your ego, your shadow, whatever, it had a problem with you because you kept choosing everybody else over it. So it's like you kept abandoning yourself for somebody else, and it turns out that these people didn't even fucking like you as much as you actually liked yourself. It didn't like you as much as your shadow actually loves you. That's crazy, right? But some of you guys learned that lesson. It's almost as for you guys too. It's like if somebody else's shadow would lash out at you or disrespect you or hurt you, it didn't even matter because you had your own. See, your shadow didn't give a fuck about anybody else. It didn't care about your relationships. It didn't care about you achieving anything. It didn't care about any of that. It just knew that it wanted your attention. And because you gave it to it, you're happy. You can go into a relationship whole, safe, and complete. You don't need anybody else because you have yourself 100%. And when you come into these relationships, whether that's friendships or whatever relationship, you won't leave your shadow behind. You won't leave the ego behind anymore. You won't leave it because it's essential to you. You need it. And you know better. You need it. Plus, you need your shadow and your ego because when you meet people, that's the indicator. That is your indicator to let you know if this person's safe, if this person's good for you. Because if your shadow doesn't like this person, that means they're not good. They're not good for you. But you need your shadow in order for you to be able to notice that. You need to listen to yourself. It's your intuition, right? You need all of those aspects. Without them, you will not be happy. And you should know you've tried, right? Going around trying to look for somebody to complete you doesn't really work out too well. And that's everybody has done that at one point. I don't care who you are. We've all done it. So there you go. The last card is the Five of Pentacles. This is just a reflection of the shadow. You feeling out in the cold, but finally embracing it, right? Because there's darkness all around, but there's light now. And you're growing, and your shadow can grow with you, and it's being accepted, and it feels like you finally, like it belongs. How many of you guys have felt so depressed and sad and wondered why? Like you've just been too lonely. You don't understand. Everything hurts. So depressed, and it's like, it's because it's your shadow. It needs you to nurture it, right? And so here you are doing exactly what you're supposed to do. So that's all I have for you, my beautiful Sagittarius. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Have a good one, you guys. Bye. Oh, sorry, y'all. This keeps